Welcome to Moment Talk. I'm your host Shiso Moa. On today's guest, we have Trey Xiong. No, not that Trey Xiong. No, not the hip hop artist, but Trey Xiong, as in the owner CEO of YDR, aka Yellow Diamond Record. Yellow Diamond Records has tours on the West Coast, the Midwest, and the East Coast. Some of the artists he has are David Yang, Mavu, Def Rhyme, ZPX, just to name a few. But first, let's thank our sponsors. Let's jump right into it. Are you looking for the latest Hmong-inspired menswear? Well, look no further. Shiso's Menswear makes suit accessories, apparels, and you can find them at www.xixomenswear.com. Now, let's get right back to the show. Hey everyone, we are super excited here. We have a gentleman from the West Coast. Man, this guy has been in the music industry for a minute here. No, he's not a singer. Don't get the wrong idea. This gentleman is the CEO of YDR, Yellow Diamond Records. Trey Xiong, man. How's it going over there?
Hey, how's it going, brother? Going pretty good.
We, met for how many years, man? 5 years now? Every time I come to Fresno, I always run into you.
Man, you're everywhere, man. Not just in Fresno. I see you everywhere. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care what show we're at. It's like you're just there. Like you're everywhere. I think I see you more than like my own artist.
That's a good problem to have. Who knows? We could do business or whatnot, too.
It's either
Uh,
you're stalking us or you are the most loyal supporter.
I love what you do. We're going to talk more about that and why so, too. Trey, can you tell us one thing we do not know about you?
One thing you do not know about me, or the majority that doesn't know about me.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people don't know that I'm married and that I have a family. So I'm married. I've been married for 7 years, and I have three kids, three children. I have a daughter. My oldest is 5. My son is 3, and then my youngest is 7 months. So yeah, I have a full house.
Beautiful family, a busy man.
Thank you.
This guy is a rec label and detailing cars on the side, too, man.
I do it all.
You do it all. You could probably get a concert and a carpet clean all at the same time, man.
Hey, comes with the package.
Come with a package. Say no more. I'm on my way there, man.
hmm
With YDR, how long have you started that?
So YDR started in 2013. Um, our first artist that we signed was T Vang. T Vang actually co-founded YDR with me. So if it
Oh,
wasn't for T Vang, there would be no Yellow Diamond. There probably won't be Mavu, Def Rhyme, and all the other artists that came afterwards. But yeah, huge shout out for T Vang. T Vang was a person that got me back into listening to pop music again, and he was the one that helped me co-founded Yellow Diamond.
mm. Speaking of the devil, he reached out to me like, "Hey, Sal, let me buy your Integra."
Yeah, he is a car guy, man. He's a
Yeah.
car maniac. Anything that has to do with cars, fish, and chicken, he's all about it.
Nice to see you again. But Trey, how do you approach the sensitive task of discussing changes in arrangement with artists?
Um, you know, I think one thing that a lot of the audience and the fans they realize about Yellow Diamond and their artists is we're more structured like a family than a business. So a lot of us like we're really close. We talk on a day-to-day basis or more than we should, and we're closer than we should. You know what I mean? So and then when it comes down to doing business or talking about business, making rearrangements as far as their career or their music, we just get to the point. We're very open, and our artists they're open to hear opinions of not just us but also their mentors too. Um, and we're just very straightforward because they know that um, we have the best interest for them.
Cool. What is one thing that every song must have for it to be like solid, man, just golden?
To me, um, every song must have a solid meaning. Whether it be rapping about your your story of how you grew up in the projects or in the ghettos, right? It has to have a story, has to have a strong meaning, or if you're thinking about your love story, like it just has to have that strong meaning. And to me, I'm a huge melody guy too. I think that's the first thing that I listen to is the melody catchy, or is it, can I, is it kung easy, so not can I remember it again? You know what I mean? So I'm a huge melody guy.
Is that how you kind of found Dave Yang, Def Rhyme, and Mabu, just to name a few, or is it vice versa?
It's a little bit of everything. So like with Mavu, she's not so huge into being melodic. Her melodies are not like super catchy like a David Yang, right? So every artist, they have their own strength and their own weaknesses. But for sure, everyone is unique in themselves. So if you look at all the artists in on a roster, everyone is unique. Like no one is the same. Like you can't, like, if you compare similarities of Mavu and Lily Vane, like they're whole two different genres of music. You can't compare Def Rhyme and David Yang, like they're they're in their own category. So everyone is unique in their style in their own way.
I see. In your opinion, who is the best music producer working in the industry today?
The best music producer. In regards to Hmong music,
How about both?
oh, both. Oh, okay. I'll start with Hmong music first. Hmong music, mm, I can honestly say, as far as a legend music producer within our home community, I would have to say Say. He's
Mm.
from Fresno. He was one of the music producers for White Shadow, and I would say about 70% of the biggest hits that in home music within like the last like 2 decades are all composed from him. All came out from his studio. So that comes from like T Vang's music, some of Lily Vang's, Mavu, Yasmin, D, Ding Tao, C Lee. Most of these music came from their studio. Even Christine Zhang.
How about the
But
American?
I
Or
the
go ahead.
Oh, and then the up and coming producer, I would have to give it up to Kinang. I think Kinang is doing a very good job. He not only produces music, but he's also an artist, so he sings too. And right now he's really busy. Like if anybody tries to work with him, he's like months booked out. So he's putting on a lot of great content, a lot of good music, working with a lot of good talented artists. Not just established artists, but even up and coming new artists too. So I will have to give him his props, and I would say I think his career has a lot more in store for him. And then for the mainstream industry, ooh, my personal favorite would obviously it'll always be like Dr. Dre. Like Dr. Dre, hands down,
Dr. Dre.
he yeah he makes the best beats. I'm a West Coast guy, so I mean I'm not being biased, but that's like Dr. Dre. He makes the best beats. And with this whole quarantine thing, um, I don't know if others listen to the producer battles that they have on IG and stuff, but I'm really looking forward to P Diddy and Dr. Dre going at it. Kind of like an East Coast and West Coast '90s thing going back and forth again. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that. But Dr. Dre, best producer in my book.
Mm. If you listen to the beats, you do notice a different. No, I don't say different, but their style of East Coast and West Coast genre. The way the beats
Oh
sound, the
yeah.
bass, and everything. It has a certain style, and you can almost tell too uh, of the style of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Not just the beat, but even the flow. They're like West Coast, they have their own flow. East Coast, they have their own flow. West Coast has that more of a swagger, that gangster swagger flow, and and that G funk music. Whereas the East Coast, it's more like hardcore. Like gutter music, like ghetto. enjoy their music coming back, like coming from the projects, and they're very vocal about how they enunciate their rap. So definitely huge difference between the East Coast and West Coast.
Now that you mention that, I wonder what is in Trey's earbud when he's like listening on a streaming on YouTube or his album, man. Is it like what am I what's your top 10 thing you listen to, man? Here.
um,
Is it hip
so
hop? Is
most
it
of the
trance or what? Go ahead.
yeah, so I'm like I'll be honest with you, most of the time I'm listening to like slow like love jams from like the 80s and 90s. I'm a huge 80s and 90s guy. Talking about like love jams and R&B and soul music. I tend to listen to those stuff more than the newer hip hop now. I not really too big into the new hip hop stuff right now. I'm more of the 80s and 90s kind of guy. And then when I'm at the gym, I'm listening to the stuff that I grew up on, you know, that where it was current in my middle school year, where it was like a lot of like 50 Cent, a lot of crunk music, a lot of down south music, 3 6 Mafia. So I'm not really too up to date with like the new, you know, NBA Young Boy and the the Migos and stuff. I'm not really with that trend right now.
Okay, okay. Cool beats, man. Cool. Now, what is the first thing you listen for when you're listening to a new recording?
To a new recording.
Yeah.
So the first thing is obviously the melody. Like that's the one thing that attracts my ears is the melody. Like, oh, can I vibe with this? And then the second thing is the vocals. Like, can I hear what this person is saying? Like, what is this person saying? What is this artist saying? How are they announcing it? Or do they have vocal control? Like, can I hear their vocals clearly? That's the second thing that attracts me.
What is the biggest budget you work with?
The biggest budget that I've worked with. Uh, if we're talking artist wise, as far as like a project, like as far as it as an artist project, um, ooh, I would have to say it's in the 30s. That's not regarding that's not including like concerts and tours and stuff. You know, on the road for a specific artist, but just for the project as far as productions and post production and stuff. I would say you know in the 30s. I'm not gonna name no specific artist or no drop no names, but yeah,
Okay. Okay, doing it big and making it bigger, right? You just
exactly.
mentioned your 80s and 90s as part of your, favorite era of music. You know what? I'm curious. What more music do you listen to?
Um, in the 80s and 90s or
It
now?
doesn't matter, man. Now and then doesn't
Oh,
matter.
I listen to everything.
Okay.
Everything that goes way back to Duli to Sonic to Sounders earlier stuff, to 4L to White Shadow Paradise. Like it, I feel like I know more Hmong music than anybody else because just because I listen to such a large variety because I kind of had to, right? Like I had to study like where Hmong music came from, decade to decade, how Hmong music has transformed within these decades, and and right now like I have to be current with what's popping right now, in regards to Hmong music, like what artists are hot, what artists are not, what artists are trendy. So I would say I listen to a little bit of everything, but um, the ones that I do tend to listen to the most, would definitely have to be music from the '90s. Just me personally, I just feel like I have a bigger connection with the music from the '90s because that was kind of like the era where I kind of grew up and developed listening to music and learning how to uh, listen to music.
Cool, man. Now, have you found any new, recent bands?
Bands, not quite. Bands are pretty rare nowadays. You know what I mean? Not just within the Hmong community, but even the mainstream industry. Bands are, you know, it's sad to say, but it's kind of like a not really in existence anymore. You know, bands are it's very it's very hard to manage a band. Um, so yeah, but as far as new artists, yeah, I mean, I'm always looking for new artists. I do see a few new artists that are coming up. I don't want to drop any names because there's so many talented artists right now that I don't want to. Hay itu and James itu tu siya na, so I don't want I don't want to drop any names, but definitely I'm keeping my eyes up on a lot of them.
YDR has been YDR has been growing just a few years now. But how long have you been producing music? Is it since your teenage year or college, or was this when you started YDR?
Okay, so as far as producing music, I think a lot of listeners, maybe our listeners right now, they might have a mixed understanding of what a music producer is. Now, yeah, so there's to my knowledge, there's two different types of music producers. There's the music producer that actually composes and produces the instrumentations of the beat in the instrumental track, and then there's the executive music producer where the person manages and kind of like calls all these shots and make all the managerial decisions. So I'm more of the executive music producer and not really the hands-on on the on my laptop and on my drum kit producing beats.
Okay.
So to answer your question, never produced any music, never produced any beats. But I did have some business background, so that's how I became um, the CEO and the executive producer of YDR.
That answers that. Now, let's say for an artist, um, and he's approaching you or approaching any music producer, and what would help him what he's looking for? You know what I'm saying? If I was approaching any music producer, like help defining his style or finding his genre, what should he look for?
Um,
Because we're playing the opposite role now. You know what I'm saying? If you're the artist
mhm,
and you're going to a producer, right? Yeah,
mhm. Like, what do I have to bring to the table? Is
yeah.
that your question?
Hmm.
Um, Man, it's so hard nowadays, you know, because back in the days, it used to be like in order to be um stumbled upon on or to be found, you know, like you gotta be hungry, you have to have work ethic, but at the same time you also have to be very talented, you know. But nowadays I think a lot of these the newer artists, you know, they I hate to say it, but I think they have it too easy, you know, where like 你似摸口不嘅，你似摸西啊，得到西啊，um, cool enough, and that's like putting in the hard work, you know. So you can have all the talent you want, but you gotta work hard. So if I was to approach a music producer or a record label, I'm not just gonna only show them that I have the talent. Like I'm gonna show them that I work hard. So that whether that be, you know, messaging them in their DMs every day, like, hey, check out my music, or going to volunteer at one of their concerts just to guide their patrons into their concerts, or just you know helping them with setup and cleanup. Like I you gotta work from the ground up. You know what I mean, and really put in that effort to show them that you want to be a part of something and that you really have what it takes to be a part of them. Because talent, everyone can have a talent, but if you don't work hard, nobody's gonna see your talent. You know what I mean? You can come in, drop an album, be talented, drop an album, and have it easy, and then next year nobody's gonna know you anymore because you lack the work ethic and you lack the determination of continuing to work hard. You know what I mean? So I would have to say work like put in the work and working hard would have to definitely be my point of showing you know these producers and labels of what I'm capable of doing.
And what if you can't do all that? Would you recommend just doing it on your own?
Just do it on your own. Because the hard work, it you know if you have what it takes, if you work hard, if you have the work ethic, you don't got to go to a label. Just do it on your own. Nowadays, um, it's so easy to do it on your own now. The technology is there. All the tips and the tools is right at your fingertips. So if you um don't work hard to learn how to produce beats or how to throw on a show, then you can never do it on your own.
Because when that, I could answer that on my own question too. Because like the first thing that comes to my head is Chance the Rapper.
Hmm.
He's like a one man band, dude. Like there's a lot of is yeah. He's just like he does a lot on his own,
Exactly. Like
without a
Chance the
producer.
Rapper,
Yeah.
Tech Nine, even like Tech Nine, like a lot of
Hmm.
people they disregard who Tech Nine is, but Tech Nine is he's probably one of the biggest artists as far as like bringing in income and has a cult following for like at least 30 years now. You know what I mean? So he can do it on his own, and he's been doing it even before the social medias and these streaming platforms. So if he can do it, anybody can do it.
Speaking of a cult following and going back to our first few questions about myself and then supporting you, I really love what you do, man. You're always raising the bar higher every time I come there, and I expect to see that. For other music festival, I go out there. If I'm willing to pay a certain amount of money, I'm willing to see it to the next level, and I'm expecting that.
Exactly.
And it's just my own personal experience, and not to put YDR on a pedestal, but when I go there, I always expect the best, and you always show that. For example, like 017 came Fresno, and you brought uh you bought like a live band. That's what I
Hmm.
should expect to pay. I'm not gonna pay you
Hmm.
$30 to be just karaoke to me. You know what I'm saying? There's a
Hmm.
mic and a speaker. Like, no, I'm expecting the best. If even if it's 40, even if it's 50, I'm expecting the best, and
Hmm.
I will pay that graciously without even hesitating. And that's why I support, and I can want to see that. Not only from YDR, and he has been doing great, but any other, you know, um, music that's been thrown out there, music out there too. Not to mention any names, but I do
Thank you. I
support you what you
appreciate
do,
that.
man. Yeah, saying like I'm expecting, and like yeah, even with the price tag of like $50, I'm willing to pay, but I'm willing to see that my money is fully worth it. Just here example, just like EDC, right? For example, when you go there,
Hmm.
it's just like wow, right? It's just I'm over the top, right? And it's like
Exactly.
even if it's $500, people will pay for it. You won't be
Hmm.
disappointed.
Exactly.
So
Hmm.
that's an example that I
And
like
that's
to see. Uh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, thank you. I appreciate that. I just wanted to follow up on that. Is with the whole live band for like rap artists like Vu Peter, David Yang, definitely like that. That's something that has never been done before.
That's
But
right.
and for Yellow Diamond, like we're always trying to be innovative. Every show that we do, we always want to do something different because for us, it's more about giving our listeners and our supporters the experience. The concert goers, we want to give them the experience of something different, something better. So we're always striving to set a new standard, not just for the Hmong community, but for ourselves.
You're doing great, and I want to see even greater. And I fully support what you do. Um, not to bash anybody out there, but this is what I'm expecting to pay. Just putting that kind of standard, because when I go to not a Hmong festival, right, but a Mika, right, like again
Hmm.
EDC for example, it's just like wow. Last year was even 200. People complain about that, but when they go $300, the lighting, the music, it shows that like
Hmm.
that 300 is worth every penny that you paid for.
Exactly. You're paying for the experience.
Exactly. Yeah, I noticed that too when doing live band, rather than just kind of like dropping like a karaoke style. Like, come on, man, seriously, that this is I paid for this. I'll be very disappointed. But again,
Yeah.
taking that bar to the next level, doing a live band, and the one thing I really had the rare opportunity and rare that's the word rare is to see
Hmm.
them do acoustic. I've never seen rare and Elvis Tao and them do acoustic. But thanks to YDR, like that's an acoustic version, man. I've never heard of that,
Hmm.
because that was a rare opportunity to have the rare on and have that happen. So again, raising the bar higher, right, for the experience, rather than just putting a DJ beat on and just go with the flow.
Exactly.
So you put a great example up there. This is what I'm expecting to see, and this is what I'm expecting to pay. It doesn't matter if you're charging 20 at the door or 50 at the door. I'm paying, and that's expecting what I'm expecting to pay. So
Mm.
keep it up, man. Keep it up out there in YDR and the crew too.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Uh, moving on forward to what makes a song a hit? Because you have like, just to name a few, like Mavu and Dave Yang and Def Rhyme and other and ZPX and stuff. Like, what makes a song hit a hit?
Um, it has a lot of factors, but one thing I always tell our artists is that every song has a time for it. Um, so it's all about timing too, So let's say, for example, Yalama, it was a perfect summer song, right? Like a summer anthem. It wouldn't be right for us to release that song, say, later on in the fall or winter. So every song has its timing. I would definitely have to say time. There's a lot of components into it, a lot of factors, but definitely timing makes the hit, determines the hit.
Okay, okay. Have you ever have a co-write a hit song, with your artist? Have you written a song with a
Not
co-artist?
exact.
No.
No, 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 not exactly co-write, but I'm always like brainstorming with them. So I'm always giving them ideas, giving them topics of what to write about, what to rap about, helping them with some lyrics, co-editing lyrics. So not a lot of co-writing, but definitely I play a minor role into their creativity of writing their lyrics.
You mentioned UNT was pretty much what is the founding or started of YDR, and you run more on the business side. Let's talk about that. What all goes behind the closed doors, and the running around and so forth.
Oh man, a lot of planning, 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 planning. I think a lot of people only see, the concerts and the CDs, being at the festivals and the New Year's, but they don't see a lot of planning that goes behind the scenes. A lot of uh, planning, like 6 months, 6 months in advance. Um, a lot of decisions, a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, a lot of going back and forth, a lot of trials, a lot of errors. So definitely just a lot.
Okay, it seems like there's a lot going on back there.
There
Are
is.
are you are you planning out for next year already? This is the time. This quarantine, take advantage of it.
Yeah, so we are planning for next year already. We had a lot of plans for this year, but we know with this whole shelter at home, the whole COVID-19, unfortunately, a lot of our plans had to be postponed. So it's just gonna have to determine about how things end this year, then we can start with next year. Because a lot of our plans this year, a lot of contract has been signed, a lot of venues been booked, a lot of like working with some of the artists already. So if things gets delayed and postponed till next year, then we might continue with what we have going on this year and move it to next year. And so everything just kind of gets pushed back a little bit.
I'm curious. Is there gonna be like a Facebook Live teaser, like how Hmong TV did, kind of thing, a concert with YDR? I'd love to see that. Maybe end
Um,
of the
you
year,
know,
maybe just to get things back in track.
yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely have a lot of requests, but with the whole, virtual concert thing, I don't know. I definitely enjoy it. I watch it all the time, but to me, I just don't have that. I just don't get that same excitement anymore. You know what I mean? Like that experience. I'm more of a. I want to be there. I want to rock with them. I want to sing my heart out. But with me, holding my newborn, toddler and scream my lungs out for sounders, like it's just not gonna work. You know what I mean?
I feel the same. It
Yeah,
seems like it doesn't do justice, right? To have the full experience of being there.
it definitely doesn't.
But hey, if it comes up Facebook Live, man, I'd love to share it. To get Wide Air back on the track for next year and get some teasers. So
Oh
if you
yeah,
have that,
definitely,
I'm more than welcome to share, brother.
definitely. It still might happen, so stay tuned.
Cool. Um. So Trey, man, it's gonna get wrapping things up. These are the last few questions I'm gonna ask you. What does it mean to be a Hmong man?
A Hmong man, so many things. To be a Hmong man, I don't want to be too too general. I don't want to say, oh, you have to be or you have to be I don't want to be too general. But what me and my friends we always joke about is, you to tiếng Anh Hmong là, you chỉ tao nó tao gai nhung là, you chỉ tao nó tao la nhung là ya. So bây giờ cho nên là if you can't eat raw meat, then you it's funny you chỉ lưu dùng này, you to tiếng Anh mà you chỉ tao tự năng gai nhung là ya. So I would say yeah, it was out there. If you get the you to tiếng Anh Hmong là you chỉ tao nó tao gai nhung là.
Okay, there's no right or wrong. Now, Trey, you've been doing business for quite a minute now. I'm not sure if YDR was going to be a career path. However, that ties to it. Can you give the 21-year-old Trey advice if he or she wants to be a music producer of the career that what you are doing right now? You give the advice to them, a younger Trey?
Yeah, I'll definitely have to say I would have worked harder. If I could give an advice to the 21-year-old Trey, I would definitely have to say work harder, because people are only going to remember you by what you did today. You know what I mean? So working harder, it's definitely going to put you your career in a long in longevity. If you don't work hard, somebody else is gonna catch up. So just work hard. Work harder.
You're the best. Work hard. How about playing hard?
Work hard and play hard.
Work hard and play hard. Lastly, Trey, we very, very appreciate your time. Where can we follow you, man? Where can we find more about you, your business, and so forth?
Yeah, so you guys can follow me on my personal page at Trexong, TREXONG. Yellow Diamond on all social media accounts. www.yellowdiamondrecords.com. Yeah, we're everywhere.
Cool, man. Well, we're very, very appreciate your time. You have a beautiful family up there. You must be cooking out in California, man.
Oh, man, it's getting there.
We'll hope to see you again. High five, grab a drink, and enjoy yourself again.
Thank you, Shisa.
Cool, thanks, man. Well, that ends our episode. If you haven't yet, visit our website at www.hmongmentalk.com or find us on Facebook, Hmong Men Talk. Lastly, if you're listening on us on a podcast from Stitcher or Spotify, Google Play, or iTunes, please give us an honest rating.